You're watching this because something precise within the field called your name. Out of millions of screens, billions of swipes, one message rose above the noise and met your eyes. That is never random. You didn't stumble into these words. They arrived on frequency. The same way a signal meets the exact receiver it was built for. What's unfolding here might sound unbelievable until you remember it's already in motion. The jackpot you've dreamed about isn't waiting in the distance. It's orbiting you right now, looking for a stable point of entry. And your attention is that point. Every act of noticing is a doorway. The moment you clicked, something in you whispered, "This is mine." That whisper is confirmation. The universe doesn't broadcast to those who can't yet hear. It transmits to the ones whose dial has finally tuned. So if you're still listening, stay with me, because what's happening is larger than luck. Have you felt that quiet magnetic pull lately? The urge to play a set of numbers you can't explain, the flash of knowing not if you win, but when. That's not fantasy. That's a feedback loop between timelines. Your future self, already celebrating, is reaching through probability, brushing your awareness with premonition. Most people miss these nudges because they treat them as coincidence. But you're different. You're awake enough to notice. The lottery, the game, the numbers, all of it is metaphor made visible. This isn't about chance, it's about frequency. When your inner state vibrates at the same rhythm as abundance, events rearrange to mirror that vibration. Every major winner feels it before it happens, a pulse of inevitability. A dream, a nudge, a sign, they follow it without knowing why. And the universe responds, not through luck, but through resonance. Think of every repeating number you've seen. Every moment money themes crossed your path. Every whisper of wealth in conversation. They weren't coincidences, they were coordinates, proof that the field is syncing to your signal. Because winning is never about numbers drawn at random. It's about becoming the consciousness those numbers respond to. And right now, your consciousness is online, visible, transmitting. That sense of being seen by the field, hold it. Because the moment you realize the message found you, not the other way around, something fundamental shifts. It's the difference between chasing probability and being recognized by it. You've been taught to think of the lottery as numbers tumbling in chaos, a mechanical ritual of luck. But step back. Feel the pattern underneath. The universe doesn't run on randomness. It runs on resonance. Frequencies seek coherence. Signals look for receivers. So when your attention anchored here, it wasn't chance, it was the field selecting a match. You are being scanned constantly by reality itself. And when your energy becomes steady enough, clear enough, receptive enough, the field takes notice. Think of it like radio astronomy. Vast space full of static, yet certain telescopes pick up a very particular pulse, a repeating wave that means connection achieved. That's you right now. The field has locked onto your transmission. Here's the paradox. Most players never grasp the universe doesn't reward need. It responds to readiness. The millions who play from desperation broadcast lack. Their thought forms are heavy, tangled in worry. They beg reality for rescue instead of co-creating it. And the field, obedient as always, mirrors that back. Scarcity generates more scarcity. The energy of I need collapses into more needing. But the chosen frequency is different. It's the calm current of already having. It's not the frantic plea, it's the quiet knowing. When you play from that place, you're not asking, you're declaring alignment. The numbers aren't odds to overcome. They're reflections of coherence. This is where the observer effect comes in, simplified beyond the lab coats and equations. Observation alters behavior at every scale. The moment something is witnessed, its potential shifts. On the quantum level, particles decide their state the instant they're measured. Existence responds to attention. So consider when you observe your life through the lens of certainty instead of lack. Doesn't your behavior change? Doesn't the world itself tilt ever so slightly to meet that confidence? This is what being chosen actually means. Not favoritism from the sky, but frequency matching within the field. You don't earn selection, you stabilize it. You broadcast so consistently that the field can't not respond. It's physics in metaphor's clothing. So, what happens when millions of minds buy tickets soaked in fear, hoping to escape debt or despair? They flood the field with interference. But somewhere within that storm are a handful of quiet, coherent transmitters, people who play from gratitude, from joy, from playful certainty. The universe spots them instantly because their signal cuts through the static like a tone of pure gold. That's why every jackpot story sounds almost identical when you strip away the details. I just knew. Something told me I wasn't even going to play, but I did. They didn't predict, they resonated. Imagine the field as an ocean of probabilities, each possibility a ripple waiting to be amplified. Most splashes fade, but a few create standing waves, patterns that reinforce instead of cancel. Those are the chosen frequencies. That's what alignment looks like in motion. And here's the secret within the secret: you can't fake that vibration. You can't chant affirmations over a core of fear and expect clarity. The field listens to your dominant emotion, not your words. When belief and feeling contradict, energy follows the stronger signal. That's why trying harder doesn't work. Alignment is effortless once resistance dissolves. So pause for a moment. Feel your body as you hear these words. Notice the subtle rise in warmth, the expansion in your chest. That's the field recognizing a harmonic. You're not being told you're chosen, you're feeling it. Because the truth is, you were never outside the choosing. The field has been calling your frequency all along. You simply learn to hear it now. And as that awareness settles, the next revelation emerges naturally. If this selection is real, then the signs surrounding it must already be visible. The universe leaves footprints everywhere it always has. The question becomes, can you read them? Those footprints are closer than you think. They're woven through your days, disguised as coincidences so ordinary you stopped noticing them. But now that the idea of selection is alive in you, you'll start to see them lighting up like small lanterns across your path. Let's walk through a few. You might recognize them not as predictions, but as echoes, messages sent ahead of time from the version of you that's already arrived. First, that wave of unexplainable optimism. You wake without reason to feel good, yet the air itself feels charged. Nothing external shifted, no bonus check. No miracle news, yet something inside you hums like the overture of a song you half remember. That's your field syncing. Your system is practicing the emotional signature of receiving before the external proof arrives. The joy isn't caused by the win, it's summoning it. Then there are the numbers. They repeat until they demand attention. 1111 on the clock, 777 on a receipt. Patterns dancing through license plates and billboards. The rational mind calls it coincidence, but the deeper field calls it calibration. Each repetition is a breadcrumb from the timeline where you've already won. It's saying, we're close, keep your signal steady. Notice how often wealth imagery now crosses your path. A luxury car easing through traffic. A random headline about a sudden inheritance. A stranger's story about winning something small. These are previews, not taunts. They're the universe testing your reaction. Do you tense and feel jealousy, or do you soften into recognition? Thinking, that means it's near me too. Your emotional response determines whether the signal strengthens or fades. And then the most subtle sign of all resistance disappearing. The background hum of worry that used to buzz every time you checked your account begins to quiet. Even when bills appear, you breathe differently. Trust replaces panic, and that trust isn't apathy, it's alignment. It's the field whispering, "We've got this, stay open." But here's the danger point. Right as the signs crescendo, doubt often sneaks in. It's almost predictable. The logical mind tries to reclaim control. It mutters, "This is delusion. You can't influence probability. Don't get your hopes up." That's the moment when most players drop out of coherence. Their signal fractures under the weight of logic's fear. Don't fight the doubt. Acknowledge it as evidence that you're expanding. Doubt is simply the old frequency realizing it's losing its hold. When it appears, smile at it. Thank it for trying to keep you safe. Then breathe back into certainty, not naive faith, but informed trust. You're not ignoring mathematics. You're recognizing that consciousness sits upstream of it. The odds are the same for everyone, but frequency determines which branch of those odds you occupy. Here's a simple calibration exercise. Each time a sign appears, a repeating number, a sudden ease, someone else's success, pause and say inwardly, "Confirmation received." No need to analyze, no need to ask what it means, just mark it. This trains your consciousness to accept the feedback loop. It tells the field, message received, transmission clear. Over time, the signs multiply because the field learns you're fluent in its language. And if you ever doubt whether these patterns are real, remember how radio worked before you knew frequencies existed. Music was always in the air. You just didn't have the tuner. Awareness is that tuner. Recognition is reception. Once you start hearing the song, you can't unhear it. So as you move through the next few days, treat every coincidence as a conversation. The universe speaks through timing and texture, through glimpses of possibility. Some of those glimpses are invitations, others are tests. Respond with calm excitement to both. Because every time you stay steady, every time you interpret reality as confirmation rather than contradiction, you tighten the feedback loop between your intention and its physical echo. And as the signs keep arriving, numbers, synchronicities, unexpected peace, you'll notice another pattern. The outer world begins mirroring your inner certainty more quickly. That's not fantasy. It's feedback from the quantum field proving that observation, when focused and coherent, rewrites probability itself. And that's exactly where we go next. The physics beneath the faith, the science beneath the miracle. The signs whisper through sensation. Now let's step beneath them into structure. You've heard it said that consciousness changes what it touches, but what does that truly mean outside of poetry? The observer effect is often confined to labs and lasers, yet its truth hums in every breath you take. Imagine particles suspended in endless potential. They exist as waves, probabilities, possibilities, nothing fixed. Then something astonishing happens. An observer looks. In that instant, the wave collapses into a single outcome. It chooses a form in response to attention. In scientific terms, that's observation altering reality. In human terms, it's your awareness shaping your day. Think of how your life behaves when you watch it with certainty instead of fear. When you expect things to align, don't they? When you brace for disaster, doesn't the world seem to echo that tension? Observation isn't passive, it's participatory. You aren't waiting for reality to unfold. You're participating in its selection every time you notice, intend, and expect. So how does this translate to something like the lottery millions play with minds full of doubt, anxiety, or need? Their observation is tangled, oscillating between hope and disbelief. That inner static sends mixed instructions to the field, and the field mirrors confusion with improbable results. But the rare few, the ones who win against all odds, approach from a different state. Their observation is clean. They've already seen the version of reality where they hold the ticket. So the act of watching collapses toward that outcome. Let's simplify further. The field doesn't care about your words. It listens to the coherence between your emotion and your focus. If your language says, "I will win," but your body whispers, "I'm not worthy," the body wins. The field reads vibration, not vocabulary. That's why forced affirmations feel empty. They're static, layered over static. True observation is alignment between thought, feeling, and expectation. Now, imagine the collective broadcast. Every ticket buyer emits frequency millions of thought waves, swirling like signals in the air. Within that sea of conflicting energy, a few tones stand out steady, harmonic, unwavering. Those tones reorganize probability, bending outcomes toward coherence. To others, it looks like luck. To the field, it's just resonance responding to itself. The observer effect is happening right now as you listen. Your focus is collapsing new meanings from these words, choosing which version of this moment becomes real for you. Are you hearing skepticism? Then you collapse that. Are you feeling possibility stirring in your chest? Then that's the reality taking form. Observation isn't limited to physics experiments. It's the law of participation operating through every glance, every thought, every heartbeat. And the beauty of this realization is liberation. You no longer wait for destiny. You engage with it. You don't pray for better odds. You become the bias that tilts them. When you walk into a store, calm, certain, grateful, your presence itself shifts the surrounding field. The cashier, the ticket, the moment they all enter your observation. Everything observed by an aligned consciousness is drawn toward alignment. This is why desperate energy repels fortune. It's not punishment, it's physics. Desperation observes from the vibration of lack, creating more lack. Certainty observes from fullness, creating overflow. The universe is neutral until attention gives it character. So pause now. Notice what your body feels like when you imagine watching your life through the lens of inevitability. Shoulders loosen, breath deepens, time slows. That's coherence. That's observation at work. The question then becomes, how do you hold that state consistently enough to make it your default? Because one flash of belief can light the spark. But sustained observation, the kind that turns probability into inevitability, requires discipline disguised as ease. It's not about forcing the win. It's about living as if the win already happened. And that's where we move next, into the art of tuning how to become the person who wins before the numbers even fall. You've glimpsed how observation shapes the field. Now it's time to hold that lens steady, to train it until alignment becomes second nature. Because winning isn't an event, it's an identity you rehearse into reality. Every morning, before the noise of the world floods in, there's a thin membrane between dreaming and waking. That's the perfect moment to tune. Don't reach for your phone, reach for frequency. Close your eyes and feel not imagine, but feel what it's like to have already received. Not numbers flashing on a screen, but the sensation of relief, of freedom, of abundance. Let it fill your chest. Let your cells believe it's already so. Because your body is the transmitter, and emotion is its signal. Most people visualize outcomes as distant goals, but true manifestors embody the outcome in advance. They play the music before the orchestra arrives. That's what it means to be chosen. The field responds to the identity that already vibrates as the answer. So here's your first daily practice: emotional rehearsal. Spend 60 seconds being the version of you who already won. Don't narrate it, don't explain it, be it. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between memory and imagination. It only knows frequency. The more often you broadcast the signal of "it's done," the faster reality sinks to that message. Your second practice, spoken declaration. Words carry vibration, but only when delivered from alignment, not need. Say it softly, like you're reminding the universe of something it already knows. I am aligned with abundance. My win is already in motion. These statements aren't spells, they're calibration cues. They help your conscious mind stay coherent with your deeper knowing. Third practice, scripting. Write your story as if it's already happened. I checked the numbers and smiled. It felt inevitable. Describe the sounds, the smells, the way the air shifted. The more sensory detail you weave in, the stronger the neural imprint becomes. Your mind rehearses the timeline until it stops labeling it future. Then there's gratitude, the amplifier of all frequencies. Gratitude says, I already have enough to overflow. It's the antidote to scarcity. When you look at your current life, the roof, the meal, the body that breathes, and thank it sincerely, you dissolve resistance. The field reads that signal as readiness for more, because what you appreciate appreciates. Finally, detachment. The paradox of creation is that grasping strangles it. After you've felt it, declared it, scripted it, and thanked it, let it go. Walk into your day as if the delivery's guaranteed. Think of it like ordering something online. You don't obsess over whether the warehouse received your request. You trust the system to fulfill it. The universe works the same way. Obsessing over the how introduces noise. Trust silences the interference. These 5 practices, feeling, declaring, scripting, gratitude, releasing, aren't chores. They're instruments in an orchestra. Together they create coherence. And coherence is magnetic. You'll know you're tuned when life begins mirroring that harmony. In small ways, unexpected money. Kind strangers, sudden ease. Celebrate those micro wins. They're the overture of the larger one. But here's a secret layer underneath all of it. Alignment doesn't only attract, it refines. As you practice, old patterns surface, beliefs about unworthiness, guilt about wealth, fear of judgment. Don't panic. That's not failure, it's the static clearing. You're tuning an ancient instrument, and every discordant note must rise to be heard before it can dissolve. So if you find yourself wobbling, remember, you're not losing alignment, you're strengthening it. Each doubt faced and released tightens your resonance. The field doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. The energy that plays every day, even imperfectly, becomes the chosen one by default because it's the one still broadcasting when the others fall silent. Stay with this discipline until it becomes your natural rhythm. Because once you've learned to play abundance like this, calmly, daily, effortlessly, you'll discover something deeper waiting underneath the notes, the hidden beliefs about wealth itself that have kept your frequency from holding steady. And to become a true jackpot receiver, you must face those next. You've practiced tuning, felt the field respond, glimpsed the harmonics of alignment, but if the melody still wavers, it's not your technique, it's your wiring. Beneath every affirmation, every calm breath, there can still lurk the oldest resistance of all guilt around wealth. You were taught early that abundance must be earned, that wanting more is selfish, that money stains purity. Those beliefs cling to the subconscious like dust on a lens, dimming the light you're trying to broadcast. And here's the paradox: the universe doesn't withhold abundance. It mirrors your permission to receive it. If a part of you secretly believes wealth will corrupt you, then your field won't let it land. You'll manifest just enough to survive, never enough to thrive. So we start here. Money is neutral. It's condensed permission, a mirror for how you treat energy itself. If you fear it, it hides. If you honor it, it flows. When you see someone with immense wealth, notice what surfaces: envy, judgment, admiration. That emotion reveals your current calibration, because how you react to another's abundance is how you instruct the field to treat your own. Imagine two people playing identical lottery numbers. One believes wealth liberates, the other believes it corrupts. Which frequency do you think coherence will choose? The field aligns with trust, not conflict. That's why so many almost winners hover just outside their breakthrough. Their signal carries static that says, "I want it, but I don't trust myself with it." To clear this, speak with your subconscious gently. Ask, "What do I believe will happen if I become wealthy?" Write the answers without censoring. Maybe you'll find echoes of your parents' struggles, of religions warning against greed, of cultural stories equating virtue with sacrifice. See them, don't judge them. Thank them, they were early attempts to keep you safe. But safety is not the same as alignment. You've outgrown the need to equate poverty with purity. Next, replace fear with stewardship. Instead of asking, "Do I deserve to win?" ask, "Am I ready to hold and circulate wealth wisely?" Because the universe loves flow. Abundance stagnates in greed, but multiplies through generosity. Think of money as water. The river doesn't question whether it deserves to fill the ocean. It simply moves. When you circulate wealth, donating, tipping, investing in joy, you declare trust in replenishment. That trust magnetizes more. Practice gratitude when money leaves as much as when it arrives. When you pay a bill, say quietly, "Thank you for keeping my world supported." This shifts payment from loss into exchange. It tells the field, "I have more than enough to contribute." That single reframe rewires scarcity faster than months of affirmation. But clearing isn't only about attitude, it's about self-concept. If deep down you believe wealth changes who you are, remind yourself money amplifies identity. It doesn't rewrite it, it gives volume to your existing song. If you are kind, you'll become kinder with resources. If you are creative, wealth expands your canvas. If you are generous, abundance will turn that impulse into legacy. So let's do a small inner calibration right now. Close your eyes. Imagine holding a sum of money so vast it once terrified you. Notice the first emotion that rises. If it's joy, breathe deeper. If it's fear, breathe deeper still. Tell that fear, "I can be trusted with abundance." Say it until the body softens. Because once your nervous system stops bracing against wealth, the field stops interpreting prosperity as danger. This is the hidden gate most seekers miss. You don't attract what you crave. You attract what you can safely hold. When your body, mind, and spirit agree that wealth is safe, arrival becomes effortless. And when that alignment stabilizes, something extraordinary happens. You begin to sense that your win is not only about you, it's part of a larger frequency network, a coherence field being built through countless others, tuning just like you. That realization is where we turn next. The moment your personal resistance dissolves, something subtle yet profound unfolds. The field begins to hum back, because alignment never happens in isolation. Every coherent frequency seeks resonance with others. The universe is a choir, not a solo act. Think of how a single tuning fork, when struck, can make another one vibrate across the room without touching it. That's resonance. Energy recognizes its own pattern and mirrors it. The same law applies to consciousness. When one person reaches coherence, nearby fields begin to sync. It's not metaphor, it's measurable. Studies on collective meditation show local crime rates dropping, plants growing faster, machines producing more order. Coherence breeds coherence. Now imagine what happens when thousands of people scattered across the world all focus on one intention: alignment with abundance. Not begging, not forcing, just declaring, "I'm ready." Those declarations ripple through the quantum substrate like overlapping waves. amplifying each other into a single, unified tone. That's why community matters. When you comment, when you type, "I am aligned with my jackpot win," you're not posting into the void, you're striking your note in the symphony. Many dismiss this as placebo or sentiment, but pause and feel it. When you read others doing the same, doesn't your body warm, your chest expand, your pulse quicken? That's not psychology, it's physics experienced through emotion. The body is a sensitive antenna. It feels coherence as safety, excitement, belonging. The more people who broadcast that same frequency, the stronger it becomes. That's why the call to community isn't about social media metrics. It's about amplification. The field is democratic. It gives more weight to what's coherent, not what's loud. A small group of focused hearts can outweigh millions of scattered thoughts. When you contribute your energy through attention, gratitude, intention, you join an invisible circuit of abundance consciousness. But coherence is delicate. It requires honesty. You can't fake alignment for likes. If you type the words but secretly doubt, the signal weakens. So before you share, pause. Feel the statement as truth in your bones. Let your breath steady, then send it out. That's when it counts, because intention plus embodiment equals transmission. And the beauty is exponential return. Each time someone else witnesses your declaration, it reinforces theirs. Observation once again changes the outcome. We see each other winning, and probability adjusts. That's why communities of belief often produce clusters of miracles. They're not accidents, they're coherence events. The more coherent the field, the faster the manifestations cascade. Let's ground that in imagery. Imagine a sea of dark water. Every coherent thought is a droplet of light falling in. One drop glows, then another. Soon the ripples overlap, illuminating everything. At a certain threshold, the darkness can't sustain itself. The entire ocean shines. That's collective manifestation. This is also why generosity multiplies your signal. When you share insights, encourage others, celebrate their small wins, you reinforce the pattern of abundance for all. The field doesn't distinguish between your joy and their joy. It measures vibrational coherence. In that sense, cheering another's success is self-interest. Of the highest order, it expands the frequency you both inhabit. But be warned, collective coherence is powerful enough to accelerate both creation and correction. If the group drifts into complaint, doubt spreads just as quickly. So protect your frequency. Engage only from love, not envy. Lift conversations upward. Remember, every word typed, every thought shared is an input to the probability field. The more beauty you broadcast, the more reality reflects it. And as these connections strengthen, something fascinating emerges, the sense that time between intention and outcome begins to collapse. Manifestations that once took months appear in weeks, then days, because when the field reaches a tipping point of harmony, reality bends toward it with minimal resistance. You've felt the solo frequency align. Soon you'll feel the chorus. And once you do, another question will arise naturally. If coherence among many can magnify manifestation, what role does timing play? Why do some waves crest instantly while others take months to break? That, my friend, leads us into the mystery of divine timing and the observation window, the period when the universe is watching to see if you'll hold the note. The choir is singing now, the field alive with resonance. But even in perfect harmony, there's a rhythm. You can't rush divine timing, because coherence is instantaneous, yet manifestation unfolds through sequence. Reality speaks both in frequency and in time. Think of it like music again. Every note exists in potential, but the song must still be played in order. You can't force the final chord before the melody has ripened. The same principle governs the universe's timing. It isn't delay, it's orchestration. While your consciousness declares "I'm ready," reality adjusts its instruments. People are positioned, events rearranged, numbers align like stars preparing for their cue. Most seekers sabotage this phase. They sense the momentum, then panic when results don't appear overnight. They reopen the quantum oven to check the cake, and the frequency collapses. Impatience is resistance disguised as action. When you obsess, you reintroduce doubt. You ask the field to prove itself, which shifts your vibration from knowing to questioning. The observation window measures that shift. Here's how it works. Every powerful intention creates an energetic echo, like striking a bell. The vibration expands, searching for coherence in the physical world. During that echo, the universe watches your next moves. Will you keep your tone steady or distort it with fear? This isn't judgment, it's measurement. The field reflects your consistency. Picture yourself ordering a package online. You hit confirm, and though the product is already en route, you can't see the process. The warehouse packs it, the truck moves, the courier navigates traffic. If you doubt and cancel the order halfway, it never arrives, not because the system failed, but because you interrupted its fulfillment. Manifestation obeys the same logistics. Trust is the currency that pays for delivery. So how do you hold the frequency during silence through faith disguised as gratitude? Each morning, thank the field for what's on its way. Gratitude is active trust. It says, "I already know this is handled." Feel that gratitude physically warmth in your chest. Soft breath, maybe even a smile. That emotion tells the universe, "No need to prove it. I'm aligned." The observation window loves that signal. It reads it as confirmation of mastery, but divine timing isn't only about patience, it's about protection. Sometimes the delay is mercy. If abundance arrived before your consciousness could stabilize, it might collapse under its own weight. The field waits until your energy body can sustain the voltage. That's why some winds take longer. The universe is syncing not to your desire, but to your capacity. When you trust timing, you step into partnership with creation. You stop demanding and start cooperating. Life becomes choreography instead of chase, and something miraculous occurs. Synchronicities accelerate, yet you feel calmer, because impatience is replaced by inevitability. Still, there's one more nuance. The observation window isn't eternal, it's a phase of heightened potential. The moments after deep alignment are when the field is most responsive. That's why I often say what you do within 24 hours of revelation determines whether the wave collapses or disperses. Act in accordance with the frequency give. Rest, celebrate, ground, but never doubt. Doubt is the only cancellation policy the universe honors instantly. So, if you've been wondering when, remember, timing isn't waiting for external permission. It's the art of sustained coherence. You are not being tested, you're being synchronized. Each pause, each delay is proof of orchestration. And when you can rest in that truth, when you can breathe through the unseen movements with the same ease you feel in victory, you unlock the next revelation that divine timing isn't separate from you at all. The moment you align so deeply that your future self becomes present, time itself begins to fold. That's the doorway to identity shifting, where the winner and the waiting dissolve into one. When timing stops feeling like delay and starts feeling like choreography, you begin to sense the next layer, that the winner you're waiting to become already exists. Not metaphorically, literally, as a frequency. Somewhere in the quantum field, there's a version of you standing in the aftermath of victory, holding the ticket, exhaling gratitude. That timeline is not separate, it's parallel, vibrating beside you like a neighboring chord waiting to harmonize. Identity jumping is the art of collapsing that distance. It's not pretending, it's remembering. The future self you long for is not ahead. It's broadcasting backward through intuition, dreams, and déjà vu. Every flash of certainty, every moment you just know, is that version of you sending coordinates. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture that you, the winner version. Notice their posture, their breathing, how they move through the world now that the scarcity script has been erased. Feel the difference in how their body occupies space, unhurried, magnetic, calm. You don't need to visualize the check or the champagne, just feel the identity. That feeling is the portal. Now, step into them. Don't watch from across the room, merge. Feel their energy slide into yours like two frequencies syncing until you can't tell which one hums louder. That is the quantum jump. When you stand up again, carry that rhythm into your day. Let every action express it. The field reads embodiment, not effort. Identity shifting works because your subconscious mind cannot tell memory from simulation. When you consistently inhabit the vibration of already done, your nervous system updates its baseline. You stop chasing and start living as confirmation. The outer world then reorganizes to match your new broadcast because the field must stay coherent with its observers. But there's a deeper reason this practice works. It dissolves separation. As long as you believe the version of you who wins is different from who you are now, you'll keep that difference alive. The moment you accept that you and the winner are the same consciousness, expressing through slightly offset vibrations, the wall collapses, time folds. Manifestation becomes migration from potential to memory. Be mindful. Though identity jumping isn't performance, you can't costume your way into coherence. It's not about faking joy while doubting inside. It's about training your body to feel safety in expansion. Each breath you take as the abundant version stabilizes that frequency. Do it until your nervous system calls it home. Here's a daily calibration when you wake. Ask, what would my future self choose right now? Then do that eat, move, speak, spend as they would, not recklessly, but intentionally. If your winning self treats wealth as flow, practice generosity today. If they move with calm confidence, slow your pace today. Identity isn't what you think, it's what you embody moment to moment. And remember, quantum shifts rarely look dramatic. They feel like soft recalibrations, new thoughts appearing, synchronicities clustering, random complements that mirror your inner growth. The universe loves subtlety. Big results arrive disguised as ordinary days. You'll wake one morning and realize the timeline has already flipped. You're living inside the vibration you used to chase. That's when the paradox crystallizes. There is no jump. There's only remembering alignment. You don't travel to the winner, you remove the parts of you that forgot you already were. And from that awareness, a new question emerges, not can I win, but what do I do with this power now that I know how reality bends? Because the field won't just hand you fortune, it will ask whether you can hold it, nurture it, and direct it for something greater. That inquiry leads us into the final revelation, abundance as responsibility, wealth as stewardship, and why the real jackpot is not the money, it's the mastery. When you finally become the version of yourself who has already won, the universe asks a quiet final question: can you hold it? Because the field doesn't give abundance, it lends it to consciousness capable of circulation. And the measure of readiness isn't in strategy, it's in stewardship. We've all heard stories of sudden winners who lost everything. They received the money, but not the mindset. Their frequency remained anchored in scarcity, and the abundance that arrived couldn't stick. The universe will not sustain what consciousness cannot stabilize. So your training, all these alignments, weren't only to call in the jackpot, they were to build the nervous system to keep it. Stewardship begins with awareness. You are no longer someone chasing wealth. You are someone trusted with it. That shift changes how you move through the world. When you look at your account, your home, your choices, you ask not what can I buy, but what can I build? The moment you think like that, the field expands around you because it recognizes purpose. Purpose magnetizes more abundance than desire ever could. The universe wants circulation. It pours energy into beings who will let it flow. When you use wealth to create, to uplift, to multiply goodness, you become a living extension of that flow. The field says, finally, a clear channel. But stewardship also means intimacy with detail. If abundance is energy, management is reverence. Learn about your tools, how to invest, how to sustain, how to nurture rather than consume. When you respect the mechanisms of money, it respects you back. Knowledge itself is coherence at the practical level. Here's a deeper truth: money doesn't corrupt character, it amplifies vibration. If your core is compassion, resources will amplify your generosity. If your core is fear, they'll magnify your panic. So don't fear the amplification, refine the tone. Keep returning to gratitude as your baseline. Gratitude is the gravity that holds abundance in orbit. And remember, your win is part of a collective pattern. You were drawn to this frequency not only for personal gain, but to anchor proof that alignment works. When others witness you thriving with grace instead of greed, they learn that abundance can be holy. Your stability becomes an initiation for others. Every act of generosity ripples through the network, teaching by demonstration that wealth and wisdom can coexist. So treat the money not as an ending, but as a new instrument for creation. Invest in projects that mirror your values. Support others rising into coherence. Fund beauty, art, education, healing, whatever expands the field's intelligence. The universe loves when energy multiplies purpose. And if you ever sense the old scarcity creeping back, the fear of loss, the guilt of gain, return to simplicity. Remember the first truth: the field responds to frequency, not form. Abundance isn't the numbers in your account. It's the ease in your breath, the trust in your step, the warmth in your giving. Protect that ease more fiercely than any asset. You've come full circle now from being chosen to choosing yourself, to realizing there was never separation between the two. The jackpot was never just the prize. It was the awakening of coherence inside you. That's the real win. Because once you can hold abundance without clutching it, give it without fearing emptiness, and live it without apology, you've mastered the highest frequency. The universe recognizes stewardship through surrender. And from that place, wealth ceases to be luck. It becomes legacy. The field is still listening. The observation window never truly closes, it just evolves. Every generous act, every calm decision, every grateful breath is another lottery draw collapsing toward grace. You have become the chosen frequency itself, and that is a state that never ends. The field is quiet now, but alive, listening. You can feel it, can't you? The hum beneath ordinary life, the rhythm that never fully stops once you've heard it. You've walked through selection, signs, patience, identity, purpose, and now you stand where every seeker eventually arrives at stillness that creates. The lottery was never the lesson. It was the mirror, a reflection of how consciousness interacts with chance, how your observation sculpts reality, one subtle expectation at a time. You came searching for a sign and instead discovered the machinery of manifestation inside your own awareness. What happens next isn't up to fate, it's up to frequency. The version of you that trusts without proof, that gives before receiving, that celebrates before confirmation, that version is the magnet for miracles. Keep living from that rhythm. Keep breathing as the winner you already are. But do it softly, The universe loves gentleness. It moves fastest when you relax into alignment rather than chase it. Gratitude is your compass now. Simplicity, your secret code. The more you appreciate what's already luminous in your life, the brighter the unseen blessings begin to materialize. And if ever you forget, come back here, listen again. Let these words remind you that what you desire is not outside you, it's orbiting within, waiting for permission to appear. You are not one in a million, you are the one aware among millions. That awareness is the jackpot. So stay ready, stay relaxed, stay receptive. Continue noticing the signs, not as omens but as conversations. Continue trusting timing as choreography, not delay. Continue giving, sharing, expanding, because every act of generosity keeps your frequency open. What happens next will not be coincidence. It will be confirmation. The field is watching, the music is still playing, and you, friend, are the note that never fades.